Hello everyone, my name is the RetroDen and welcome to a brand new video, and I'm sorry for the delay, but it's just been a very hardcore month of gaming. I've been playing a lot of games, beating not a lot of stuff, but playing a lot of games. Now that I'm back at full speed, we are picking up the pace, and Backlog is not all about beating stuff. It's also about experimenting and trying out new stuff and having different experiences no matter if you finish them or not. And that's what I did this month. I beat some games, but I played a lot of stuff. And personally, if I had to give you an overall feeling of how I felt about this month and my experiences this month, I am very pleased with the amount of things I got to play. And I really felt like I had a lot of unique experiences that I have something to share about them here on the channel. But without further ado, let's talk about what I played in February. Starting by something that is coming out of last month's episode with Star Wars Outlaws, a game I've already talked about like 2 times on this channel, one for its own video and one for the backlog of January, but I finally ended up finishing it in February, and I will leave here a quick reminder for you to always check my backlogged page, which is also in the description down below if you want to take a look at these reviews as soon as I finish the game, because I tend to update that page every time I'm either playing a game, so I put what games I'm playing in my playing tab, and I also put what I finish in there with a written review, either big or small, depending on how much I have to say about the game. And Star Wars Outlaws was one of those games I really enjoyed. What I played, I think the game got better all the way up until the end. It wasn't perfect in any sense, but it got down the principles of what a Star Wars story was supposed to be, and I think it had a good build up to the end where it didn't waste your time too much around the ending scenes of the game and let you just finish it and enjoy the story for what it was worth. Now, was it a 10 out of 10 story? It wasn't. It was at best a 7 out of 10 story, and there are glaring performance and overall issues with the game in terms of bugs and things that I found along the way. Nevertheless, it was a game that I would consider worth it, grabbing it for around 30 euro if you can get over some of the bugs that are in the game. But if you are not a Star Wars fan overall, I don't think you would enjoy this, if I'm being sincere. So grab this game if you are a Star Wars fan and you want to experience another Star Wars story. As always, cameos in Star Wars games are also really fun to experience, so be aware of that going into the game. And right after Star Wars Outlaws, I decided that I wanted a little bit more of nostalgia, so I went back to one of the first Call of Duty games I played, and I beat Call of Duty Ghosts campaign. Now, if you know anything about Ghosts, is that people, when it came out, hated it. People for some reason, now, not some reason people hated like the huge multiplayer maps in the game, but people hated the game. And until today, Ghosts had a very bad reputation, but then COD started to go downhill, and Ghosts and other games of the era in which they were criticized started to come back up on the ranking of overall Call of Duties, and Ghosts is one of my personal favorites, all because of nostalgia-tinted goggles, because I played it a lot as a kid on a PS3. And I really enjoyed the campaign. It was good to turn off my brain and enjoy a shooter or an FPS for what it is, just going through linear levels, shooting everything in your path, and enjoying the sceneries and everything like that. Now, I have to say, for the first levels, this was really, really bad, because it had that classic green tint, like green and gray tint over the game that really hurt my eyes for some reason. Like, the color correction in these games from this era was just bad, awful to say the least, and that hurt my eyes for a bit. But overall, it was a good refresher to go back to COD Ghosts, beat the campaign, and enjoy the story that was supposed to get a follow-up eventually, but just it got cancelled and we never ended up getting Ghosts 2. And then, speaking of the last game I beat for the month, I have to talk about one of my new favorite action games of all time, with Bayonetta. Now, I've already written a good enough review on Bayonetta on Backlog, but I cannot say how much I enjoyed this game. Everything from the aesthetics, the music, the sceneries, the combat, the mechanics of the game, the variety of things you can do, and the skill ceiling this game has is like worthy of the title of an action game. And plus, it has Bayonetta, which is now a household Nintendo character for a few years. And have been meaning to play this for a long time, but back then on PC, I just didn't get the game overall. Like, I had it, but I refunded it because I wasn't getting what the game was supposed to feel like. And now this time around, I got to it, I started understanding more of the game, and although I only beat it one time, I get the feeling that I need to go back to it, because now that I know how the mechanics work, I felt the need to go back and perfect them to just enjoy that combat one more time. It's one of those games that is so good that you feel the urge to just pick it up again so that you can experience like you getting better over and over again. Now, my performance in this game for the first part of the game, even though I thought I understood what was going on, was awful. Like, I was getting stone awards back to back to back, and I was like getting hit all the time. But now that I understand everything like dodge offset mechanics, and that I've actually been watching a lot of videos on the game, I get the feeling that I can do much better going back into the game and playing it again. Now, I have to play Bayonetta 2 and 3, but as of now, I still can't find a good discounted price for the game, so I'm waiting for it to go on a somewhat decent discount, not even asking for too much because I know how Nintendo is, and these games are stuck on Nintendo Switch. But once I get my hand on those, you can bet I will be playing it from start to finish, like Bayonetta 2 and 3, and I will be enjoying those as well. Right after Bayonetta, I went to another Call of Duty. Now, this one was specifically because I was looking for a multiplayer fix, and me and my friends saw that Black Ops 3 was on the Steam store for like 20 euro with another additional zombie pack, and we just went in and played like a little bit of zombies, played a little bit of multiplayer, mostly multiplayer, and we all I'm saying this like it was a lot of people, but it was honestly just one of my friends and me that played this together. And me and him, we went to multiplayer, we played on the one online lobby that was available. A lot of 1000 level sweats there, but nevertheless it was really enjoyable to go back and play some OG COD multiplayer without everything that is going on with that COD launcher nowadays. But I really enjoyed that experience, and I still have it installed to play it from time to time if I ever get the feeling to play it. Then right after that, I played the game that has come out recently, and it's a revival of an old franchise called Tokyo Extreme Racer. That is a classic racing game with a good progression system that I've honestly just enjoyed for a little bit. I haven't played it that much because this game has really intricate like customization when it comes to the cars and their tuning and everything like that, but it was a good experience, and I am honestly looking to play it more and even finish the campaign someday, because I think that racing games nowadays lack that OG progression that they used to have, that made you feel like you were actually getting better cars and going into harder tracks. And I think this game is an example of how progression is really well done inside of racing games. Then, right after that, I spent half the month playing Terraria in an expert world, in which I got stuck in the mechanical bosses part of the game, but nevertheless, Terraria is like an addiction. And when I picked it up and created another world, I was playing my melee class, and I ended up playing like 20 to 30 hours of it and just hopping back into it every time that I wanted to just procrastinate around and watch YouTube videos. So Terraria was honestly half of what I did like in February, and I am not that proud of it, but I was waiting for a game to come out that I played last day of the month that you might already imagine what it is, but we'll get to it. Then right after that, you know, I had to show support to one of the best YouTubers out there, and I bought Big Mode's Star of Providence. If you don't know, Big Mode is the publisher that is owned by Video Game Donkey, a very good YouTuber, a big inspiration for me and this channel, and I played a little bit of it. If I would have any criticism, it would be that the UI is kind of confusing, but I only played it for a little bit, and I honestly enjoyed it. I really like these simple kinds of games, and I think that I will probably beat this one when I have the time, because I think that Donkey has a good eye for projects that stick with the public, and I think Animal Well was a good example of that, and I'm wondering if Star of Providence can achieve the same type of success that Animal Well did with the community, and this time I want to actually experience it by myself while I still have time. Then right after that I got back with my ex, and of course by X I mean Apex Legends, and I played it for like 2 or 3 matches before I got overwhelmed and decided it wasn't worth my time, because everything is confusing with the menus and everything they are adding. Like, EA just killed that game, and after like 600 hours or something, which isn't even that much compared to some people I know of Apex Legends, I just decided it wasn't worth it. And then I reached the end of the month for the thing I was waiting for ever since the beginning of the year, which was Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, honestly, I've already talked about this in previous videos. I was hyped for this game, and it is like unnatural how hyped I was for this game, because I haven't even played another Monster Hunter for more than like an hour and a half, and I have been really enjoying Monster Hunter Wilds. The gameplay is amazing. I really like the customization, the armors, the gameplay, the monsters, everything is amazing except the story. Now, bear with me. Nata, or Nata, or however you want to call him, the kid that follows you around in the story and which the story is practically based on, he is so dumb, and the story is actually so bad all because of him. Because this kid decides that he wants to like throw rocks at mythical dragons and fight them one-on-one, then he decides he likes them and we shouldn't kill them, and it just makes for a convoluted story in the mix of like millions of players wanting to just play, and the whole base game story being a tutorial for a high rank gameplay, which I still don't know what it is, because I have played like 20 hours and still haven't managed to get to the story, because beating in little sections and trying to actually pay attention to the story takes a long time, because the story just goes on and on and on, and that's the only reason I'm not going to speak more about it today, because I still have to finish that story, and it's just been taking a long time for something that's not even the main focus of the game, and it's not even that good. So I think they lacked a little bit on that front, but nevertheless an amazing game. I've been playing heavy bowgun, really enjoying it. It's like a powerful weapon. I like knowing which type of ammo to use for each situation, and I think the monsters look dope, especially this one monster that you fight in the goal. That's like a huge metal-like dragon. I think it's called Din Jahad. Really enjoyed it, but I'll have to get back into the game so I can talk more about it in the next month. Now, thank you guys for sticking with me up until the end. I am sorry for not being recording so much, but honestly, I don't even have an excuse. Although I've been working and actually gaming, most of my time outside of work has been like fully focused on gaming and having these experiences. Like, I haven't enjoyed gaming so much as I'm doing right now in a while, and I'm just taking this time all in to enjoy what I'm feeling and make use of that time to feel like a kid again. No matter how dumb that sounds, like, I just want to enjoy enjoying gaming for how much I can, or as much time as I can, and I'm going to keep doing that until it's not fun, which probably won't be for a long time. And yeah, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos that we post in March or in next month. It depends, I will see what I have planned for the rest of this month. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, it takes only 1 second of your time and really helps me. But other than that, this has been the Retro Den, and I'm out.